Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we're diving into the world of filigree.
Really fascinating stuff.
It is. We're talking about those intricate designs you see in jewelry.
Oh, absolutely. The delicate, lacy patterns, usually in silver or gold.
Exactly. Where tiny threads and beads of metal create these amazing patterns.
It's pretty incredible when you think about the skill involved.
It really is. And that's what we're going to be uncovering today.
Peeling back the layers of this ancient craft.
I like that. Peeling back the layers.
And we've got a great resource to guide us, RoleCatcher's career guide on filigree making.
I've had a sneak peek, and it's packed with insights.
It seems like they've really gone in depth, covering everything from the history to the modern-day career path.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the level of detail.
Yeah.
So, for those who might not be familiar, let's start with the basics. What exactly is filigree?
Well, in the simplest terms, it's the art of creating intricate designs.
Like those delicate lacy patterns we were talking about?
Exactly. By soldering tiny beads and threads of precious metal onto a metal surface.
It sounds incredibly delicate.
It is incredibly, requiring a tremendous amount of dexterity, precision, and a really keen artistic eye.
No wonder those pieces can be so pricey.
Oh, absolutely. The craftsmanship, the materials, the sheer time involved, all of that factors into the value.
It's like each piece is a miniature work of art.
It truly is. And speaking of art, RoleCatcher's guide actually delves into the history of filigree, tracing it back centuries.
Oh, really? I had no idea it went back that far.
It does. Think ancient Mesopotamia around 2500 BC.
Wow. So we're talking about a craft with some serious historical significance.
Absolutely. It was prized by royalty and the elite, often used to adorn everything from jewelry to ceremonial objects.
Talk about a legacy. So it's been around for centuries, but what does that mean for today? Is filigree still a relevant art form in our modern world?
That's a great question, and it's something that RoleCatcher actually addresses in their guide.
Okay, so they're not just giving us a history lesson, they're connecting the dots to the present day.
Exactly. They're looking at how this ancient craft is not just surviving, but actually thriving in the 21st century.
Now that's what I call a deep dive. But before we get ahead of ourselves, I want to go back to something you mentioned earlier, the sheer skill involved in filigree. Can anyone pick this up, or are we talking about a very specific skill set?
You've hit on a crucial point. It's not something you can just master overnight.
It sounds like it takes years of dedication and practice.
Absolutely. RoleCatcher actually dedicates an entire section to the skills required.
Let's hear it. What does it take to become a master of this delicate craft?
They emphasize the need for incredible dexterity.
Makes sense, working with those tiny, delicate pieces.
Exactly. And then there's precision. Each element has to be perfectly placed.
And I'm guessing patience is a virtue in this line of work.
You can say that again. Imagine spending hours, even days, meticulously soldering each tiny bead and thread.
I'm getting anxious just thinking about it. So we've established that this is not a craft for the faint of heart. But let's say someone listening is totally captivated and wants to dive headfirst into the world of filigree.
Now we're talking. That's the spirit.
What does that journey even look like? I mean, where do you even begin? So where do you even begin? I mean, is there like a filigree making 101 course you can take, or?
Well, it's not quite like signing up for a pottery class.
No, of course not.
Although I'm sure those are fun too. But with filigree, it's often about finding a mentor.
Like an apprenticeship.
Exactly. Think of those old world workshops, where aspiring artisans would learn from master craftsmen.
Passing down the secrets through generations.
Precisely. And RoleCatcher really emphasizes this aspect of mentorship in their guide.
So it's not just about raw talent. You need that guidance, that hands-on experience.
Absolutely. They highlight how important it is to learn the tricks of the trade, the nuances of working with these delicate materials from someone who's been there and done that.
It's like the difference between reading about something and actually doing it.
Exactly. And when it comes to filigree, the hands-on experience is irreplaceable.
That makes a lot of sense. But we're living in the 21st century now. What about the digital age?
Ah, yes, the digital age.
Surely technology plays a role in shaping the career path of a contemporary filigree artist.
You're spot on. And this is where RoleCatcher's insights get really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
They talk about how technology is changing the game, particularly when it comes to showcasing your work.
Right, because it's not just about creating beautiful pieces anymore. You need to get them out there for people to see.
Exactly. And that's where having a strong online presence comes in.
So we're talking websites, social media, that sort of thing.
All of that. RoleCatcher highlights the importance of building a digital portfolio.
Makes sense. It's like your online gallery. showcasing your best pieces to the world.
Precisely. And it's not just about static images anymore. They talk about using video to your advantage.
Oh, interesting. Like showing the process, the behind the scenes of how those intricate pieces come to life.
You got it. They emphasize that people connect with the story behind the craft, the passion and dedication that goes into each piece.
It's like you're not just selling a piece of jewelry, you're selling an experience, a piece of the artist's soul.
Beautifully put. And RoleCatcher really drives that point home. They even suggest hosting online workshops or demonstrations.
Oh, wow. So you're not just reaching a local audience anymore. You can connect with potential customers and students from all over the world.
Exactly. And that's the power of technology. It's breaking down geographical barriers and creating all sorts of new opportunities for artists.
It's like the world is your oyster, or should I say, your filigree canvas.
I like that. But it's not all sunshine and roses, you know?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, RoleCatcher doesn't shy away from the challenges either. They talk about the competitive nature of the online marketplace.
Right, because now you're not just competing with the jeweler down the street.
Exactly. You're up against artists from all over the globe, all vying for attention and sales.
So how do you stand out in such a crowded space? What does RoleCatcher suggest?
They emphasize the importance of finding your niche, your unique style, your story.
Because in a world of mass production, people are craving authenticity, something special, something one of a kind.
You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
And that's where the true value of handcrafted artisanal pieces lies. They have a story to tell.
It's like each piece becomes a conversation starter, a piece of wearable art that sparks curiosity and intrigue.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher provides some really practical tips on how to craft your brand story, how to communicate the value of what you do.
So it's about more than just beautiful pictures. It's about crafting a narrative that resonates with your target audience.
Exactly. It's about creating an emotional connection with your customers, something that goes beyond the transaction itself.
I love that. So technology is a double-edged sword then.
In a way, yes. It presents both challenges and opportunities.
But RoleCatcher seems to suggest that by embracing the digital landscape,
And being smart about it.
of course, you can actually leverage it to your advantage.
Absolutely. They even go a step further talking about how AI is changing the game.
AI and filigree. Now that's something I didn't see coming. Tell me more about that. AI and filigree. Now that's something I didn't see coming. Tell me more about that.
Well, they mention these things called automated recruiters.
Okay, and what are those? Some kind of robot headhunter for artists.
Not quite a robot, but yeah, essentially algorithms that scan resumes and portfolios looking for specific skills.
So it's like having a digital gatekeeper deciding who gets noticed.
You could say that. It's how a lot of companies are filtering through applicants these days.
That makes sense. Especially in a creative field like this where you might have hundreds of people applying for the same opportunity.
Exactly. And that's why RoleCatcher stresses the importance of understanding how these algorithms work.
So that you can tailor your application to stand out.
Precisely. They even have a tool that analyzes job descriptions.
Oh, really? That sounds incredibly helpful.
It is. It identifies the key skills and keywords that employers are looking for, so you can make sure those are highlighted in your resume and portfolio.
It's like having a secret weapon in the job hunt.
It's about being smart and strategic, using the tools available to your advantage.
Which is what RoleCatcher seems to be all about.
Yeah.
Giving you the insights and resources you need to succeed.
Absolutely. And that includes not just the technical skills, but also the soft skills.
Right, because it's not just about creating beautiful jewelry. It's about running a business.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher really emphasizes that, talking about the importance of communication, client interaction.
Being able to understand their vision, manage expectations.
All of that. It's about building relationships, being professional, and presenting yourself well.
Because at the end of the day, people buy from people they trust and connect with.
Couldn't agree more. And that's a universal truth, no matter what industry you're in.
Absolutely. So we've covered a lot of ground here, from the ancient history of filigree to the modern-day challenges and opportunities.
It's been quite a journey, and RoleCatcher has been an excellent guide, providing some really valuable insights into this fascinating field.
They really have.
Yeah.
It's clear that they've done their research and they're passionate about helping people succeed.
Absolutely. And I think that's a great note to end on.
It is. So for anyone listening who's been inspired to explore the world of filigree, whether it's as a hobby or a career,
Or even just to appreciate the artistry.
absolutely. I encourage you to check out RoleCatcher's career guide.
It's a treasure trove of information.
It really is. And who knows, maybe one day we'll be admiring your intricate creations, each one a testament to the enduring legacy of this ancient craft.